A very warm and cheerful good morning to one and all. This is Damanpreet Kaur of Class 9 College Public School, Rajpura, District Patiala and Punjab State. First of all, I would like to thank the principal ma'am, school authorities and of course the government of India to giving me this opportunity to tell you about the contributions and roles of NCC and NSS volunteers in disaster risk management. First of all, I would like to tell you that what is a disaster. Disaster is an undesirable catastrophe that usually happens with the forces that are largely beyond the human control. And the disaster are usually of two types, that is natural disaster and manual disasters. In the natural disaster, we count the disasters like earthquakes, tornadoes, tsunamis, cyclones, etc. In the manual disasters, we include bomb attacks, wars, mob lynching, etc. And in the classification of scales, the disaster is again divided into two parts. That is a small scale. We can call it minor, and in the scale of large scale we can call it major disaster. In the part of minor disaster, the NCC and NSS play a great role, but while talking about the major disaster, the NCC and NSS can't play a great role because that is on the large scale, that is a large scale disaster. That's why NCC and NSS cadets play a great role in the manual disasters like wars and bomb attacks, because in this they help by raising the morale of the country. They also control the traffic of the area, and they also help the injured persons at times. While we talk about the natural disasters, there also NSS and NCC volunteers are very helpful with each other and of course to the people. They provide with the food and shelter and all the medicines and necessities and care the people who are injured. The NCC and NSS volunteers are the youth of India, and they show the youth power of India. So let's talk about the fire. Fire is caused due to three elements, that are, first is the oxygen, second is the temperature, and third is the fuel. So these three things when combined, they produce fire. And fire is normally classified in 5 types: A class, B class, C class, D class and E class. In A class, the fire is usually produced by the wood, paper, cloth, etc. In the B class, the fire is produced by the gases, and in C it is produced by the fuels. In D class it is produced by the electricity, and in E class it is normally produced by the gunpowder and all. So these were the 5 types of the fires. Now fires can be extinguished by 4 types. The first one is to put on the water on the fire, but in some cases the water can't cure the fire, as when the fire is put on with the electricity or gases, then then putting water on fire would not minimize it. In that case, we will use the sand, that is the second type, to extinguish fire. In the third case, we can cut off the supply either of the oxygen, or we can cut off the supply of the fuel. In the fourth part, we can use the extinguishers, or we can call the fire brigade for minimize the damage caused by the fire. Now let us talk about the fire extinguishers. The fire extinguishers are usually of 4 types. The first one is of water, the second one is of carbon dioxide, third is of DCP, that is dry powder, and fourth one is of foam. So here we are provided with the DCP cylinders. So to check that whether the cylinder is empty or full, first of all we have to see the meter. If the nozzle is on the red side, then the cylinder is empty. So this one is an empty cylinder. And here the nozzle is on the green side. It means that the cylinder is full of the DCP. And first of all, to use it, we have to break this lock, and after that we have to put pressure over here and use this pipe like this to extinguish the fire. Now I am giving you a demonstration that a person is caught in the fire, and now I will rescue. So first of all, we have to crawl on our elbows and feet. So when we are reached here, we have to tie the feet. Make sure that the knot you are tying to the rope, it should be tight. Now again I will roll back. Now we can take help of someone who would pull. Now the person is under danger. So first of all, to check the person, there are 3 types: A, B, C. So in the A, check the airway. Airway means nose and mouth. So you should see that that nose and mouth doesn't have any type of foreign particle which is choking the windpipe or anything. If it is so, then you can sideway the neck, and like this, whatever foreign particle will be there, it will be removed. And after that, the B, that is breathing and bleeding. So there should not be any type of breathing problem. So if it is not, then check the bleeding. There should not be any bleeding in the body. If there is, then tie something there tightly, or hold a cloth, or stop the bleeding for 10 minutes, then it will be stopped. And whenever the bleeding is from ears, nose or mouth, then let it flow, because these bleedings, if run back towards the brain, then it might cause a brain clot. Now check the pulse rate, and the pulse rate is to be checked from here, from this side. The pulse rate should always be 10 to 20 times in 10 seconds. And after that, if the pulse rate is low than this, then it means the blood pressure is low. The blood pressure, we can call someone, and after that we can do like this. And after that the blood from the legs will go to the brain, and the blood pressure will increase, and this will make her life safe. Breathing problem, we can see where we can check where the hurt lies, and after that we can make this type of expression in our hands, and then we have to press it like this. Your head should be on the 90-degree pose. And after that you can make hands upwards. Keep your hand here so that the neck will not lie at the back side. Now you have to do like this. And the next thing you can do is to keep hands here, and then you can do like this. So this was what the preventive measures we can take if anyone may caught fire and is caught in fire. So this was the first aid tips. So what to do when an earthquake comes? You can usually take a bag to cover your head and hide under a table like this, and keep the bag here so that it might not cause any type of physical injury. And if you are in a car, then you can slow down your car and stop it on a safest place. And while you are in market or anywhere else, then make sure that you are not near any type of buildings and all. And if you are, then go to an open ground and lay like this. Make sure that your heart and lungs are not touching the ground, because the ground may create some vibes. And after that, close your ears. This will reduce the vibes going to your ears and making your ears dead. So after that, you can take anything or handkerchief thing or etc. You can take it into your mind, so that your mouth, so that your teeth couldn't bite your tongue. So this was some precautions which you can take during the earthquake. And now I beg pardon from the authorities. Thank you.